Hello friends, my name is Alexa and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about the first book in the Zodiac Academy series called The Awakening by Caroline Peckham and Suzanne Valenti. This time I'm not going to do a character analysis for this book series. It'll just be like my general notes that I found interesting about this book. I also heard a lot of mixed reviews about this book, like some people don't like it. Some people complain about the grammar, the writing is not their favorite thing, but however, I'll talk about what my thoughts are about this book series so far towards the end of the video, in which I'll leave like a little timestamp in the description in case you want to skip towards that part. But for now, since I'm going to be talking about what happened kind of during this book, or like what I found more fascinating, or like general stuff that catched my eye while reading this book, there will be spoilers, so I will forewarn you. So with that said, let's get to what exactly went on in this book. So basically in the Zodiac Academy, the first book, we get introduced to the two female main characters named Tori and Darcy, who are twin sisters. They basically, in the beginning, they're trying to get money. So I think Darcy is sneaking into her orphanage to try to get cash, and Tori is like doing a job, like a bike job or bike stealing job, to get money. In the human world, Chicago is where it starts off at. And then there's like some weird guy, or they think it's a weird guy, who keeps following them around everywhere, like they run into him, and then eventually he finds out, or like follows Tori back to where they live, and then gets into their home to like tell them the truth about who they are, that they're actually fae, or like changelings, and that they're also basically royalty. He then like tells them the whole truth, like I said, their birth, right, or stuff like that, and then he tells them that they're going to be going to a place called Zodiac Academy in Solaria, which they kind of are like, oh, like not really up for that yet, but then they ultimately decide that they'll go. So they get sent to Zodiac Academy to learn more about their powers. They get like assessed on what elemental magic they have, and they're both able to command the 4 elements, which is fire, water, earth, air. And I also found the Latin that was said at the beginning was when they were like being assessed was pretty cool, and the whole summoning of the elements thing. Then they like have this whole assembly of like introducing the freshmen to this new year at Zodiac Academy, and the principal is basically saying that Tori and Darcy are heirs to the throne, and that they have to prove themselves against the 4 heirs who also want the throne, which their names are Seth, Caleb, Max, and Darius. And then Caleb is a vampire, and then Seth is a werewolf, Max is a siren, and Darius is a dragon shifter. And then after the whole assembly, they get split off into like what dorms they want to go to. Darcy decided that she wanted to go to the air dorm, while Tori wanted to be with the fire dorm. So Darcy had to prove that she belonged in the air dorm, basically like prove Seth wrong. Like he basically said, if you don't do what I'm telling you to do right now, like jump off like the roof or something, then he's gonna chop off her hair. And so she decides to like jump off the roof, and she stops herself from like seriously injuring herself with her air magic, and that kind of proved the bullies wrong, that she can prove herself and that she is worthy to be a part of the storm. The same thing kind of happens with Tori, except that she walks through like this wall of fire and it melts off all her clothes, and like all these people are like taking pictures of her like naked or something. And then she like vows to Darius that he will never see her naked ever again. And then she also passed her trial, which, yeah. And I just felt really bad for Tori and Darcy, like them being bullied. I don't know, if I was there, I would be their friend, but also like I really like their friends that they made. Like Sophia and Diego are really close to them, and yeah, they're basically, I like them. I would be, if I was in Zodiac Academy, I would love to be their friend, but yeah. So also the world building is pretty cool, the whole Zodiac Academy world building, and also like following these characters along as they're like taking these classes, and you're kind of like learning stuff too, even though I don't have any elemental powers, unfortunately. But it was kind of cool to kind of learn what they're learning, you know what I mean? Oh, and then I said if I was like a student, I would be afraid of what Tori and Darcy are capable of, because these are the heirs to the throne, right? So who knows what they can do, or what their potential is. And then Orion kind of tells Darcy about her family, like what happened, that her father was called the Mad King, all that jazz. There's also this conflict with the nymphs that are against like the Fae, and there's like constant like little battles in between the Fae and the nymphs as well. And then I think there's like one scene where Tori follows Darius to like where the area where like all the faculty stay, and she like listens in on a meeting between Orion and Darius where she thinks they're conspiring, or I'd say that she thinks, but she has a feeling that they're conspiring against her and Darcy, because they like are like talking about getting rid of somebody. And so then Tori like tells Darcy about all that stuff. Oh, and then I found Sophia, Diego, and Geraldine to be really cool. Geraldine is kind of like this big supporter of the Vegas. That's like Tori and Darcy's last name. At first they didn't really like Geraldine in the beginning, but after or later on, Tori and all of them really become close, like really close friends with Geraldine, or at least starting to get close with her. And then Sophia, Diego, Tori, and Darcy like go out to enjoy the town, whatnot. They get like a bunch of drinks, and then Sophia gets really drunk for some reason, and so then Diego takes her back to the dorms, leaving Tori and Darcy by themselves. Then they get chased down by like one of these little like the nymph stuff. But then they kind of run into the heirs again, Caleb, Seth, Max, and Darius. Then they have then they like dance with them, and then after all that, like there's some commotion outside, and then they see their Geraldine, who's unconscious because she was attacked by a nymph, and Orion or Lance is trying to save her. Then later on, Tori visits Geraldine in like this hospital at the academy, and she's like, that's how like the friendship gets started, and also that Geraldine is having a slow recovery. Then once like Darcy arrives to also speak with Geraldine, Geraldine tells Tori and Darcy about the attack that happened to her. Then Darcy confronts Orion and demands answers from him because she thinks that he attacked Geraldine, but in reality he was just trying to save her. And also Darcy wants to know why Orion wants Tori and Darcy gone. But he said that he didn't want Tori and Darcy to be dead. He just wants Darius. He's basically trying to help Darius like get the throne and whatnot. And then Darius reveals to Tori, because I think she like sneaks into or like goes into his room to talk to him about why he's not training her. And then he like tells Tori that he's a dragon shifter and that he shifts in front of her and then flies off somewhere. And also like there's like these messages that Tori and Darcy get from time to time in the book from someone called Fallen Star. And then they figure out that Professor Astrum, who is their tarot card or their tarot reader professor, is the one who is Fallen Star, who is basically trying to help them. And then there's this moment between Caleb and Tori where they're doing stuff in a classroom. I don't know if that's like a start of something between them, but anyway, that's about it. And then when they're at this like, I think, normal dance, Darcy, well, I think Orion basically warns Darcy to go back inside because he knows something bad is going to happen. And so Darcy then meets with Seth, who then like kind of tricks her into kissing him and all of that jazz, like loving on her. And then he cuts her hair without her permission, and it's all being filmed by Seth's girlfriend, Kylie. And then Darcy is all like humiliated, and they just leave her be after all that. And then Orion comes back to find her, and then Orion's basically trying to cheer her up. And oh yeah, and then also like his whole nickname for Darcy is Blue, which I think that was kind of cute little nickname for Darcy. And then Orion and Darcy like hear a scream coming from like this pool area, and so they're rushing over there because Darcy knows it's Tori. And then Tori basically gets pushed into this pool where she's then like drowning, like Max and Darius are drowning Tori. But then like once Orion arrives with Darcy, he kind of puts a stop to it, and he basically says to everybody that you guys are in detention if you don't leave. But he says that the four hairs, Max, Darius, Seth, and Caleb, they're gonna be in detention. And then basically that's mostly it. And then like towards the end, there's like another very bad attack that happens to Professor Astrum. He got attacked by a nymph apparently, and then set on fire where they suspect it was dragon fire. And then like Caleb kind of Darius is missing through all that, so that's pretty much where it left off with like the death of the professor. And yeah. My rating for this book was 4.5 star. Overall, I really enjoyed reading this book and reading this world of Solaria. To be honest, I think the first time I heard of Solaria, my brain instantly went to like Winx Club, if you're familiar with that show. Like Stella's home planet is called Solaria, so I was like, but there's obviously no correlation between the two of them. My brain just went to that. But yeah, I just really love this book. I love Tori and Darcy. Diego seems a little suspicious to me, but she's just a little suspicious to me, so I don't know what's going on with him. Sophia, she's adorable. Her personality kind of reminds me of myself. I think Sophia and Darcy are kind of like where my personality is, but also kind of Tori when I'm like upset with stuff, or if I'm frustrated, I'm more like Tori that way. But yeah, I also don't really like the Darius, Caleb, Seth, and Max for right now. Maybe that'll change as the books progress, but as of right now, I don't really like them. But yeah, I really like the silly moments mixed in with like the serious moments, with like the shit hitting the fan towards the end, after the whole Professor Astrom death thing. And also, like, again, there's like some moments in the book where there's like, to me, it seems like one brain cell is bouncing around everybody. But yeah, like the whole magic system, the incorporation of the elements, and like the Zodiac, and like talking about like the constellations and whatnot. That was really interesting to me, and also like the different orders people can shift into. I'm not sure what order Tori and Darcy will be shifting into as of yet, but I'm really excited to figure out what their order will be. So yeah. Oh, and then would I recommend this book? Maybe. If the grammar and all of that, or like there's like, it's kind of like reality TV written in a book, if that's like kind of your thing. If you like that, or if you don't care about the grammar and you just want to read for a good time, then I would recommend this book. But if like grammar is a major ick to you, then I would not recommend this book. And also like the whole reality TV stuff, it's like a more, I wouldn't say like, it's kind of a mix between reality TV and like a mature Harry Potter kind of, I would think. But yeah, if you like reality TV show, or like you're a fan of Harry Potter or whatever, and you don't want to support J.K. Rowling, then I would suggest you read that book, or yeah, read Zodiac Academy. In my opinion, it's kind of better than Harry Potter, but you didn't hear that from me. Let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. Next time I'm going to be talking about the second book in the Zodiac Academy series, Ruthless Fae. And yes, if you like this video, then please leave a like. If you've read this book, or if you read Zodiac Academy, like all of it, then let me know down below what your favorite characters are, or what you thought of the whole book series, or what characters you hated. Or let me know if you want to start reading this book. Whatever you want, right? You just want to talk about random stuff. I don't care. Talk about whatever you want. But yes, if you also want to watch more videos like this one, I have some playlists down in the description of like similar videos to this one. But yeah, if you want to see more videos like this one, then hit the subscribe button, and I will see you all next time. Bye, friends.